we created Entry, one of the things we were really trying to accomplish was to improve the safety of how de-icers work. So one of the problems that we find with traditional products that people are using is they tend to be slow to work, and the likelihood of refreeze is often at fairly high temperatures. So with Entry, we wanted something that would work much faster and prevent refreeze to much lower temperatures than what people are used to. And so we had to create a whole different way of melting snow or ice. Traditional products, whether we make them or someone else makes them, have some sort of heat exchange, either endothermic or exothermic. Entry is what we call ionic. We created it, so we got to name it. And so the way that works is basically, this is an animated under the microscope visual of a water molecule, H2O. When water freezes, there's these frozen hydrogen bonds that are formed. What Entry does is it breaks apart the molecular structure of the ice lattice, which is why when you see Entry melt with your own eyes, it almost looks like we're spraying hot water. And what it really is the breaking down of the molecular structure of the ice lattice. So when we talk about seeing Entry work with our own eyes, I mean, this is kind of what you can expect. So this is going to be a shoveled paver walk. You'd recognize this surface once it's shoveled is now more slippery than if we had done nothing. And you'll notice also that it's not particularly cold in this video. It's about 25 degrees Fahrenheit. But Entry would work the same way if it was 5 degrees Fahrenheit as if it was 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So as soon as Entry is applied to this white, currently really slippery surface, it goes from white to wet. As soon as it's wet, it's now safe. So almost instantly, we're getting down to a safe surface. These areas that didn't melt right away because there was a little bit more accumulated snow up against the uneven paver edge, that's not slippery anymore. That's slushy, and it'll be gone in a minute or two. So very, very fast. We often see a lot of over application of ice melts on stair areas, which means we get a lot of corroded metal railings, metal doors. We see a lot of damage to concrete stairs. With Entry, we get to put it right where we want it. And so this is a shoveled set of stairs. You'll recognize some feet came up the stairs before we had a chance to shovel. Again, this is about 25 degrees, but with Entry, we're putting it just where we want it. As soon as that white surface turns wet, once again, we're now safe. And so you think about it in the morning, you have a building it just snowed overnight. The staff arrives to clear the sidewalk areas and the stairs. And now people are going to start arriving shortly, and we're just then putting down the de-icer. And depending on the temperature, depending on the type of de-icer being used, it could take 5 minutes to 25 minutes. With Entry, obviously, we're getting a very quick melt, which does translate to safety for sure. The other thing when we think about safety and we think about how Entry works, it's preventing refreeze to lower temperatures than any other product on the market. So Entry's maximum melting temperature is negative 63 degrees. So basically in this jar, if you will, I'd have to go to negative 63 degrees to freeze it. And we have frozen it before. This picture you see on the left over here is actually Entry. That's the liquid you see, and we have dry ice underneath it. You'll see it says negative 37 where the thermometer is, and it's not frozen. But if we would move that thermometer into the frozen area, it would read lower than negative 63 degrees. So you can freeze Entry, but it will keep working down as low as negative 63 degrees. But that's on multiple applications and things like that. On a single application of Entry, we would say that it's going to lose about half of its melting power once it melts snow or ice. So that puts it right around 0 degrees Fahrenheit where we're worried about product refreezing. And it's really based on wind chill. So wind chills of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, we would be worried about refreeze. If we're going to go lower temperatures than that, that's fine. We just need to make another application, push ourselves further down the freeze curve. We've got people in places where they see consistently negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 40 degrees Celsius, and they can use Entry at those temperatures. They just make multiple applications. What I'll call traditional granular chloride based de-icers, -4 is realistically their maximum melting temperature. And we're worried about refreeze right around 15 degrees. So it's very common. We have a snowfall at 25 degrees. We shovel, we put down the traditional granular chloride. It melts, but temperatures drop overnight below 15. And then we get a refreeze and we have some sort of slip and fall accident the next day. So with Entry, as long as we stay above 0 degrees Fahrenheit on the wind chill, a single application will be able to prevent refreeze. Thank you.